Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm going to be setting up my sinking funds and my savings tracker. And this is kind of like step 3 in my process of my budgeting process throughout the month. So what I normally do, and I'll review just a little bit, step 1 is setting up the monthly view and laying down when my paydays are, where my bills come out, and that's step 1. That way I know what paycheck pays what bill. And so that's step 1 for me. Step 2 is taking all that information and doing the math. So I have some little sticky notes here and things that I need to add to, because I did the budget before I knew I was getting a stimulus check. I did the budget before I knew exactly how much was going to be balanced forward. So I have that kind of reminding me there. Thoughts on my husband and his wanting to lift his Jeep, I guess. So anyways, in order to get all that, I needed to do all of this and come up with a balance to make sure I was not over budget in my bills, what I pay and what my spending categories are. So that's step 2 in my process. Step 3, well, I guess today's is actually step 4. Step 3 is actually paycheck to paycheck. I start my paycheck 1. So I gave you the wrong step a minute ago, so forgive me on that. But this is the step 3 in my process. I only budget for one paycheck period at a time, so I know exactly to the dollar what's coming in and out for actual money in my bank account. So that's my step 3. Step 4, I guess you would say, after you start your month, I go ahead and set up my sinking funds. Now, they all don't have to be on the same day, obviously. They could be at different times, whenever it's best for you, but don't wait too long to do some of these. So today is my step 4. I'm gonna do my sinking funds. I know I said step 3 a minute ago, but I forgot this process here. So, sinking funds and savings tracker. I usually put these together at the same time because it's not that big a deal. There's not that many in the listing on each side, and I run both trackers exactly the same. Even though this says date, I actually use this as a category. I just mark it out. Most people like the date there because they're putting small increments in several times a month in order to build their savings. Or this is a savings tracker for a specific goal, and they have several months that they use this at. So there's several ways of using this sheet. I just run it like a sinking fund, but it's my savings account for my emergency fund. So let's jump into that. I'm going to pop these pages out and then I will zoom you guys in and be right back. So hold on for one moment. Okay, I am back. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and fill out my sinking funds, and I'll talk a little bit about what I usually put in categories in my sinking funds. So my sinking funds are pretty much annual expenses for the year. Whether it's a subscription, whether it's something for our vehicles or taxes or just things that need to happen throughout the year, but they only happen once a year. That's a majority of our sinking funds. The other part of our sinking funds are long-term goals, like replacement of a hot water heater. Now, we just bought one last year, a brand new one, and it's going to last us 8 to 12 years. That's the average lifespan of a hot water heater. And if you put a little bit away every month for that specific purpose, by the time you need another one, you won't need a home warranty, and you won't need anything but the cash you have on hand to buy what you need. And so hot water heater, and we don't have to wait for approvals and insurances and claims and stuff and go through the rigmarole of waiting through that process. We just call a plumbing company and say, hey, we need to replace our hot water heater. They'll say, hey, we can come out in 4 or 5 days. We're like, okay, boom, and it's done. That's what I want to do. So that's why we do that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to fill this out, and I'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in the beginning amounts for the categories I have here. And I'm going to draw that from the ending categories of my December budget sheet. So you take these ending amounts for your sinking funds, and that becomes your new beginning amount here on the sheets here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, and I've already got it kind of off to the side here. Amazon Prime, where we have $40, and then Disney Plus, we have $5.83 is what I came up with, which is the $69.99 divided by 12. Prime, that's $119 for the year. You divide that by 12, it's pretty much $10 a month. I just choose one month that I don't do $10, I just do $9, and that balances everything out. And usually that's right before the money comes out in September. Apple subscription comes out in December, and that's $69.99 as well. So I have also in that month $5.38, or I did it backwards, 83 cents. It's also $69.99, and you divide that by 12. So this is about what it is, and whatever the change difference is, $1 or less, I kind of use the dividends to offset that amount, so that every time my sinking funds come out, they still stay within balance. Excuse me. Orkin is our termite and spray for the house. So we have a 1-year contract with Orkin for the termites, and that contract is $299. Right now we're sitting at $234.00 for what we have in the account, and then $88 quarterly for spraying to make sure we have no bugs in the house. Heating and AC, so we have a contract once a year for that as well. Right now we're sitting at $160 for my beginning balance. I can't remember the total, but it's over $200 for the year to get priority for service calls and to get our heat and air conditioning serviced in the spring and fall, depending on what's going on. So they come out and take a look at things and clean it and make sure it looks well maintained, and make sure that if they see any potential problems, they would let us know before they happen, which is really awesome, or if there needs to be something else going on. City of Chesapeake, this is where we pay our property taxes on our vehicles. Right now I have $364.00. So so the point of this is when the property tax shows up, it depends on how old the vehicle is and how much the vehicle is worth and all that stuff. So they tax you on the value of your vehicle because it's a property. I don't know why they do it. I don't ever remember doing it growing up, but since I moved to Virginia, we have to do it. So, but you never know exactly what the bill is going to be until the bill shows up. And that's hard. So I take the previous year's tax bill, whatever we paid the previous year, I'm expecting, even though it's probably going to be a little bit lower because of the depreciation value of your vehicle, I always take the previous year's numbers, estimate off that, and use those numbers and save up that amount. And usually I'll have more than I need. Also, I include stormwater for the City of Chesapeake. It's just a bill that we get for stormwater. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I have to research it a little bit. But it's only $44.10. So when that pops up, I can use the sinking fund to pay that. Okay, senior year. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. So we're halfway through the school year as of January 7th, which is today. And my son is a junior and he will be a senior. Right now I have $400 and I want $1,200 by September. And right now I'm adding $100 a month. That way I can get his cap and gown, I can get his senior photos, I can get whatever I need to get to pay for anything he needs for his senior year, all the memorabilia, all the announcements and invitations and blah, 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 blah. So I remember spending $1,100 on my other son in 2017 when he went through his ceremony, and I expect the same this time around. And I added $100, so made it easier. Cell phone and technology. So sorry, I'm losing my voice today. Cell phone and technology has $245. There we go. And I always add $100 to that because you never know when you need to buy a new cell phone because you either broke one or there's problems or whatever, or you need to upgrade. And we will be upgrading my husband soon. Right now he's fine with it, but yeah, he needs a new one soon. So Christmas, we're adding, we have $50 started in December when Christmas came about, and I hope to have $600 by Thanksgiving or by November, so that we can shop for the family, and that should be a good amount for Christmas. A vacation fund, I already have $50 in there. I don't know what vacation, but if we could come up with a vacation, I'm going to go ahead and fund it now and then worry about where we're going later. Hot water heater, I do $20 a month now, so $20. And then dividends. So the beginning balance of dividends, this is from the previous months, is 74 cents. And currently all of these total up to $1,575.40. I have this in an Excel spreadsheet, so that's why I know the math already. And that's just off to the side where I'm getting my numbers from. So that's my beginning balance. This is what came from December into January. Now I need to go up here and add how much I'm putting in each category every month until, for this month, not every month, what I'm going to put in this month for January, so I have my balances and know how much I have in each account. Now, all these little numbers here, this is what my bank account actually shows in the savings. But in my savings account, and it's one savings account that I have all this in, these are the categories. So if you took and subdivided your savings account into small little listed categories here, then that is the amount you would know for each category. But they're all in one big pot. You know, it's just like putting it in one big piggy bank, but you're allocating $40 of that total to Amazon Prime, $583 to Disney Plus, you know, the $160 for the heating and AC. And only that $160 belongs to that one category, even though all the money's sitting in one place. So here we go. Let's add into what we're going to put in. So I have $10. I'm going to add to Amazon Prime. I have $583 going to Disney Plus. I have $583 going to Apple subscription. Orkin, I have $55 going into that. I have $20 going into my heating and AC. I have $52 going into my City of Chesapeake. And I have $100 going into the senior year. I have $100 going into tech. I have $50 going into Christmas and $50 going into vacation. I have $20 going into hot water heater, and our dividends have already hit the bank, and they were 26 cents. So our total right now that we are going to deposit, and this is going to be my sinking fund deposit for the month of January, is $468.92. So to me, this is like one specific, drop a whole bunch of money, not a whole bunch of money. Instead of dropping a lot, pulling cash out for a lot of these little amounts, I just put one specific amount into a savings account and it sits there. That way I don't have to pull the cash out. I'm a very cashless person, I've discovered. I've tried to do cash and I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. And I don't like carrying it around or keeping it. I don't mind keeping some cash in the house for like natural disaster emergency. And, we have it available on hand and we can go. And I call it my hurricane tornado fund. Basically, if a hurricane hits and we need to evacuate, I need cash to get out of town and evacuate. Or if a tornado, which we are prone to tornadoes in this area of Virginia, and if it hits the house and the house is damaged and we can't stay in it, sure, we can use our debit card. Sure, we can use that. But if it damages enough stuff and ATMs aren't available, or the hotels can't take credit or debit or whatever because of power problems or whatever, and you have to pay cash for everything, then that's what the cash is for. So I don't mind that. I just don't like carrying cash and paying for cash at the registers. I just want to swipe the card and go. So that's what that is. So now our new ending balance is going into February for right now, unless I have to withdraw from any of these, and none of these categories actually apply to January. So I don't have to worry about that. It's probably all going to be zero, but I'm not going to fill that out until the end of the month. The ending categories, so Amazon Prime is $50. And so I'm pretty much halfway to what I need for September there. I have $11.66 for Disney Plus and Apple subscription. And then I have now $289 for Orkin. So we're good there, on track for May's termite contract and the $88 fee for coming out to spray. I live next to a water feature, so that's why I have them come spray so often. I don't want bugs in my house. $180 for heating and AC is what I have so far. And $416 for the city of Chesapeake. And that's building up. I think I'm trying to get almost $600 there. And I should have that by June when the bill is due. So I won't need all $600, but I will reallocate whatever extra comes in, or what extra is not spent, to some other category here. So maybe to a hot water heater, or maybe to technology, probably to technology, because that's the one we need the most funded for all our needs. So anyways, moving on from that, I have $500 for the senior year. Wow, that's a lot of money. My boy is going to have a good senior year. $345 for cell phone and technology. Now, all of this does not apply until I make the deposit on the last paycheck of the month. I fund, it's crooked over here, sorry. I fund all of these the last paycheck of the month, and that is the 22nd of January this month. So that's what that is. And then $100 for vacation and hot water heater. I'll have $40. And let's see. Looks like I have a whopping $1 in dividends for the past few months. Not a whole lot. Small interest, fraction of an interest. So my total is $2,044.32. That's what my savings will reflect at the end of January. And this is my sinking fund. So that's how I set up my sinking funds for the month. I go ahead and put my beginning. I put how much I plan to deposit, and I use an erasable Frixon eraser pen. And I love that, so I can go back and erase anything that I had to make changes on. Any subtractions that I do for a month, which I don't think I have this month, but it's there if I need it. And then this total is what I will have once I make this $468.92 deposit in our savings account. This is what I'll have at the end of the month, minus anything that I do take out. So on the 22nd, that's where that will be. And that is that. So put my sinking funds to the side here. And I'm going to grab my savings tracker. So my savings tracker, I run just like a sinking fund, in the sense that within the savings account, I prioritize lots of certain amount of money for certain things. So I'm just going to kind of mark out date here because I've already printed this, and I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to put category. Now that I have categories here, I can write my categories, and it's just like a sinking fund listing: what you begin with, what you add, what you may take out, and what you end with. So what we've got going on is our starter emergency fund. I'm just going to put EF for short because I don't have as much room here. Normally it's just a date, so you don't need much room. So my starter emergency fund is $1,000. Now, I'm only going to do the beginnings here. I'm not going to do what I'm planning to add, and I'm not going to do any subtracting or ending. I'm just going to do my starter because I do not have anything that needs to be changed in here. This savings account holds 4 things in here. It's going to hold the starter emergency fund, which is the $1,000, which is recommended by Dave Ramsey. And that is who I've been following to set me up for debt freedom. I mean, freedom from debt, because it has worked so far. I did the $1,000 emergency fund right away. It took me 15 months to pay up $44,000 of debt, including school loans, credit cards, and getting into debt and getting back out of debt. Because I started the process at $33,000 and I bumped it up $11,000 while I was paying off debt. So anyway, I paid off all that debt. We only have the mortgage as our debt right now, and that is the only debt we have, which is totally awesome. So after the starter of emergency fund, I have what are savings 6 months of expenses. So our 6 month of expenses, savings, and this is a savings. Right now I have $1,000. By the end of this month, I hope to have another $1,000. And you may ask, why do you have a separate starter emergency fund and 6 month emergency expenses? They're the same. I don't really technically separate them. I just have them listed this way until I hit a certain threshold where I can just start combining the two together. And I'll probably do that when this 6 month hits $4,000. I will combine the $1,000 plus the $4,000, giving me $5,000. Then I'm going to move the emergency fund into a money market account. I'd like to have a good bulk of money to do that. For right now, I just like separating them in my head until I'm ready to move them to a money market account. You can go ahead and put them together if you want and say, hey, I have $2,000 for my emergency fund, which is fine. It doesn't matter. It's just how your mind works, and that's what's best for you. So 6 months of emergency savings, I have $1,000. I put that in December. And then the change left over, I reallocated back to dividends separately. I used to throw the dividends there just to have something going in that category, but now I have them separated back out. No particular reason, it just looked better that way to me. So right now, the next category I have for after the 6 month expenses is my husband's savings that he needs for travel expense. So his travel expense savings has to do with a couple of things. He's a contractor for the Navy. He travels with the ships. He goes out to sea sometimes still, and he's retired Navy. So he immediately retired from the Navy and then got this job. So it's still like he never left the Navy. But he does have this job where he does have to go out to sea. He has to pay for meals on the ship, and then the company reimburses him for those meals. So we set aside a certain amount of dollars. It's usually $720 to cover up to 2 months of travel expense. And the company reimburses anything that he spends, and then we're good to go. So currently we have right now $700, leaving December, going into January, we have $706.25. And that's partly due because he got reimbursed the other month for travel in October going into November. And that's why there's some change there. Yeah. And then I've also added money from other categories that I had. If you saw my December budget, it had the, what do we call it? The savings for home improvements or something along those home projects. And I closed that out because we took care of everything. And then what was left over in it, I put up here. So there's that. Now we did get stimulus income. I just put it in the savings. It was $1,800 for 3 of us in our family. $600 a piece. And that was that. Now dividends, the beginning balance is $3.20. Now I do have the amount that was added for this month, and it was 80 cents. So that's all I have there. Now, I don't plan how much I'm going to put into savings every month to our emergency fund until the 22nd, till the last paycheck of the month. And that after that paycheck, that determines how much I will put in here for savings. Right now, we're in a situation where I have enough cash in our checking account. We're looking at a little over $3,000 in our checking account right now. That was part of my husband's savings that was going to go to a car lift. Well, his company has not sent a pending deposit for his paycheck on Friday, which is tomorrow. And so I don't know if he's getting paid tomorrow yet. More than likely he will, but I don't know. They've changed a whole new pay system structure, a whole new pay system, physical system, and so accounting system. So we're kind of holding on to that extra money that he was going to use for the Jeep lift in our checking account until we know he gets his actual paycheck, because what we have in the checking account is more than what we would bring home, his take-home pay for the paycheck. And so we can use that to supplement until they get the pay straight at work. Hopefully there's no hiccups. Hopefully if it is a hiccup, it's only a couple days delayed, but we don't know. So anyways, that's kind of why I like to wait till the end of the month when I have most of the money for depositing for the sinking funds as well as the savings tracker. So that's why I know I'm going to make my sinking funds deposit here. Let me show you that again. I know I'm going to make this deposit, but as long as his paychecks come in okay. But here, I don't know what I'm going to save for the month. I have no idea. So I'm just not going to put anything until I know it actually happens. And then I know I'm not going to pay for the emergency starter fund because that's already fully funded. It's the 6th month that I don't have fully funded, and I hope to take the next couple of years and really get that fully funded. Now, the 6-month emergency fund for us, and I've done annual trackers before and annual expenses and things like that, and that is what this is. So I'm going to zoom you guys out and show you in full length what this looks like, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my little visual. I don't do many visuals, but I am doing one this month, or this next couple of years, of how much I want to save for a fully funded emergency fund. And that means all my expenses for 6 months. And we came up with the magic number of $36,500. Can we live off of less? Probably, but we're still adding our lifestyle in here, which means if I get to $25,000, we're good. But I'd like to I would feel safer and feel better if I had this $36,500 in the checking account or in the savings account for the fully funded emergency fund. Now this sticker I found, MauryJune.com, I think is her website. Maury June sells stickers and budget stickers and stuff like that, and I really like her shop. I've had another one of these mason jars before. Trying to fund this and pay off debt. It doesn't work. I kept trying and I kept depleting the jar. So I used this one instead. This is a percentage jar. She has one with just lines and you write in what you want the lines to increments to be. But for me, I thought this would be easy and simple. And this is actually a sticker. So it was not printed on the sheet. I printed a decorative sheet. I've been making my own stickers and stuff for my own books. But I'm not ready to be a shop or sell stickers, so I'm not that proficient yet. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I do create digital sheets. And all the sheets that you've seen up to this point are in my Etsy shop. This particular design is not, but these are my January sheets in my Etsy store, and I sell these online. It's Lisa's Faith Budget Plan. in the Etsy store. And yeah, I really love these. I use these every month. I show you these and do release videos showing this, and then I show you me working them every month. So there's that. But I just added this fun little sheet here, and I thought it was really, really cute. I might see if I can find this kind of mason jar icon, or I don't know, drawing or something, and print a sheet like this to put in the shop. That would be kind of fun. So yeah, I know for every $3,650 I save, I can do 10% of this jar and just keep going up till it's fully funded. So I will be showing me coloring this in. Right now I'm at $2,000, and probably not this month, but in February I'll be coloring in the 10%. And that's exciting. Just to know I can creep up and get to these points, and that will be awesome. So that is my plan for this. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my notebook back together with all these budget sheets, and that will be everything. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.